Hi children, this is Sudhir Kumar. So today we are going to discuss about a device called cyclotron. Cyclotron is a device which is used to accelerate the charged particles. Accelerating means we want to increase the velocities of the charged particles. We require highly energetic charged particles. In fact, when velocity is high, they have more kinetic energy. For example, the kinetic energy of the electrons, kinetic energy of the protons, kinetic energy of the alpha particles, etc. We can say when they have high velocities, they have high kinetic energies. They are called energetic particles. These energetic particles are used in many experiments, in radioactivity, artificial transmutations, etc. So these energetic particles, we get after accelerating them. So how to accelerate these charged particles? That is done by a device called cyclotron. Now, before going to this cyclotron, you must know some information, two formulas, two effects, because we are going to apply them here, which you have already studied in previous classes. Now, for example, I will take electric field. Suppose if I am having an electric field in this region, this is the strength of the electric field, E. This is a uniform electric field that is existing here. If I take a charged particle inside this electric field, suppose I am taking a positive charge, plus Q, and this charged particle will be experiencing a force F is equal to EQ in a direction of field. Generally, the electric field will be from positive plate to negative plate, where you will be maintaining the potential difference with the help of a battery here, plus potential and minus potential. So a positive charge is attracted towards a negative plate. So the force acting on the particle, or force exerted by magnetic field, force exerted by electric field on the particle, I can say it is the product of strength of the field and charge of the particle. Fine? Very good. So this will cause an acceleration in the particle. F is equal to ma. So this will cause acceleration in the particle. Now particle is accelerated, its velocity will increase. What is the acceleration here? It is nothing but EQ by m. This will be the acceleration. M is the mass of the particle. Q is the charge on the particle. E is the strength of the field that you are applying. Fine, this is about thing which you are supposed to know. Now let me take magnetic field now. This is one part that you have to know. So second part. You have a magnetic field here. So the magnetic field is inward. Let the magnetic field induction or the magnetic field here is B bar. Now let us say a charged particle has entered the magnetic field perpendicular to the magnetic field with a velocity V. Charge and mass are Q and M. So when a particle enters perpendicular to magnetic field, it moves a circular motion. It causes a circular motion. It will turn towards left according to the Fleming's left hand rule. So when it is making a circular motion, so what is the conclusion I made? A perpendicular magnetic field or a charged particle when it is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field. So the magnetic field make the particle to move in a circular motion, or magnetic field will trap the particle and make it to oscillate, or you say revolve in a magnetic field. So in this condition, the force exerted by magnetic field on the particle, force exerted by magnetic field on the particle. See, particle will not make circular motion as usual. No? There must be some force in order to make the change the direction continuously, in order to make it to move into a circular motion. That is given by BQV sine theta. In vector form, it is nothing but Q into V bar cross V bar. This is a force exerted by the charged particle on the magnet. This information we have already studied. Here, that is not our aim to study, but I am just revising for you. Now, this force will be always acting towards the center. This force will be always acting towards the center. When a particle is making a circular motion, this force will be acting towards the center. And hence, I can equate this force to a centripetal force. I can equate this force to centripetal force. Because the particle is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field, you can make sine 90, that will be always equal to 1. So this must be equal to centripetal force. So I must say BQV is equal to mv square by r. So the force exerted by magnetic field is equal to centripetal force, or the centripetal force is provided by the force exerted by the magnetic field in order to make the particle to move in a circular motion. So this is another information you are supposed to know here. So we would like to accelerate the particle using cyclotron. This information one has to know. We will be using these expressions also in the case of cyclotron. So let us come to this cyclotron. You can see the diagram of cyclotron. So it will have two Ds, and these are hollow metallic chambers. These are hollow metallic chambers. So you can see on the diagram, this is a box having some thickness, made up of metal, and it is hollow inside. Fine. So what will we do here now in order to accelerate the particles and get high velocity particles, charged particles, or highly energetic particles? So we will be applying both electric and magnetic fields here simultaneously. You know, some of the forces due to electric and magnetic fields is called Lorentz force, isn't it? So we will be applying both electric and magnetic fields. I have discussed all the special cases of the Lorentz force also in the previous lecture. If you want, you can go through them. So the magnetic field make the particle to move in a circular motion, and electric field helps us to accelerate the particle, to increase the speed. So simultaneously you are increasing the speed and making to move in a circular motion, increasing the speed and making to move in a circular motion. So like that, it is making circular motion and increasing its speed simultaneously, and finally high speed charged particles will come out. That is the basic idea of this cyclotron. And here we will be connecting an alternate voltage here. We will be connecting alternate voltage. The polarity will be continuously changing. If this is plus, this D is minus. Immediately after a moment, this will become minus and this will become plus. And after a moment, this will become plus and this will be minus. So plus, minus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus. The polarity will be continuously changing with the help of an alternate voltage. So the magnetic field that is applied here will be perpendicular to this D. Suppose if you have, this is a plane, right? So magnetic field will be applied like this, outward. So I would say there is a magnetic field in upward direction. There is a magnetic field in upward direction, B bar. So the magnetic field is upward direction, means it is like this. But these are like this. So field will be coming out. Magnetic field will be coming out like this. Right? So I will put a dot I'll put a dot indicating that there is an outward magnetic field in this region. There is an outward magnetic field in this region. So this is a B bar. Then where is electric field? So electric field will be between D's. So for example, if this alternate voltage at any instant, if this is having a plus and this is having a minus, so this D will have a plus potential and this D will have a minus potential. So there is an electric field between this space. See, suppose if this is one diameter. Say for example, this is another diameter, second diameter. If this is a plus potential, I am telling now, this will be minus potential. Let us say this is a positive potential. Let us say this is negative potential. So there will be a strong electric field between these two plates, between these two diameters, I can tell. So there will be a strong electric field between the diameters. You may ask me, sir, what about the field inside this? You know, you studied in electrostatics in a hollow bodies, in a hollow conductors. The electric field inside the hollow conductor is zero. So there won't be any electric field inside this hollow disc. There won't be electric field inside this hollow disc. The electric field is present only between discs, that is between diameters. A strong electric field is existing. A strong electric field is existing between the discs. So that is maintained with this potential. The potential that you are applying here, that will create a electric field here. And this electric field will accelerate the particle and it increases its velocity. Now let us see, it's working now. So there will be a source of charged particle somewhere here. I can take. Generally, you know, when you take a magnetic force, you will apply Fleming's left hand rule. Magnetic field is outward. Okay? Magnetic field is outward. The particle has a velocity this way. See? This is magnetic field. Suppose if this is velocity, so particle will be deflecting like this. So let me take one charged particle here. That is the source of a charged particle. Say from that source, electrons are coming out. For example, it is a source of electrons. So electrons are charged particles only, isn't it? Electrons are charged particles. So this electron now, of course, it may be at rest, but it is accelerated between the plates. So it will get a velocity v1, let us say. When it is moved between the plates, between the diameters, these are the two diameters. Now the particle is now here, so it is accelerated here, accelerated like this, in this space. Only here only it is accelerated. And it acquires a velocity v1. Let us say it acquires a velocity v1. And after acquiring a velocity v1, now it is entering into the magnetic field. So this magnetic field, okay, this magnetic field will turn this particle, okay, will turn this particle, make it to move in a circular motion. So therefore this charged particle now enters here with a velocity v1 into the vertical magnetic field. So it makes into move a circular motion. So this is a circular motion. So it is in this circular motion, it is traveling with velocity v1. Remember one point very clearly, a magnetic field cannot change the magnitude of velocity. It can change only the direction. Direction means it is turning like this to make it to move in a circular motion. But magnitude of the velocity is not changed. And magnitude of the velocity can be changed only by electric field. And that is why we are saying that it is accelerated in the electric field. So therefore here it completes one half a circular motion with a velocity v1. Because it is a, let me not take an electron here because this polarity will not make you understand. Let me take some positive charge. Some positive. I said just say electron. I said some positive charge is a source of positive charge. Say a source of protons. Let us take. So that proton will be attracted towards a negative plate. So it is accelerated between the plates. Understand? So then it moves in a circular motion. Because if we take negative charge, all rules will be reversed. Even this Fleming's left hand rule also cannot be applied. Fleming's left hand rule is applicable for positive charge only. If it is a negative charge, you have to reverse the direction of force. Understand? You have to reverse the direction of force. That all we already know that. So let me take a proton is there. Right? Now it has completed a half a circular motion now. Fine. Now what happens? Now I said that this alternate voltage will be changing its polarity continuously now. So when it is ready to enter here between the spaces of the plates, now if this is a positive potential, then this proton will be repelled by the positive potential. So immediately make this minus and this becomes plus. So initially first D is plus, second D is minus. Now when it completes a half a circular motion, when it completes a half a circular motion, by the time it is ready to enter into the space between the D's, now the polarity is changed. This becomes minus and this becomes plus. This is D1 and this is D2, let us say. So when it is at negative potential, now this positive charge is accelerated or attracted towards the negative plate and it is under acceleration. So therefore it will increase its velocity between the plates. So maybe this space is very small, no problem, but even then it will be increasing its velocity here now. It will be increasing its velocity because it is under acceleration between the discs. Because there is an electric field between the plates. I told Noma there is an electric field like this. Initially, this electric field will accelerate. Now when you change the polarity, the direction of electric field will be like this. It is accelerated towards that. Now the velocity increases from V1 to V2, let us say, between these. So when it increases from V1 to V2, so now it is entering into the magnetic field with velocity V2. It is entering into the magnetic field with velocity V2 because velocity is increased between the plates. You know, radius of a circular motion, just now I told when you are when a particle is making circular motion in a magnetic field, force exerted by the magnetic field is BQV sine 90. That is equal to a centripetal force mv square by r. So velocity is cancelled. The radius of the circular motion is nothing but mv divided by bq. So mass of the particle is not changing. Magnetic field I am not changing. Charged particle also does not change. Charge on the particle also does not change. You are increasing the velocity between the plates now. Therefore radius is directly proportional to velocity. As the velocity, magnitude of the velocity is increasing, the radius also has to increase. Now in previous case, let us say this is radius r1 with when velocity was v1. Now when velocity is increased to v2, let us say now v2, now the radius will be r2. So it will be traveling with a greater radius now inside this magnetic field like this. So here you are maintaining a velocity v2 here. Here you are maintaining velocity v1. And once you enter the magnetic field, the magnitude of the velocity cannot be changed. The magnitude of the velocity is changed only between the plates due to the electric field. That is called accelerating field. Electric field is accelerating field for you. So now it completes a circular motion with a radius r2 because V1 is greater, V2 is greater than V1, then R2 will be greater than R1. So this radius is R1, this radius is R2. So again it makes in a half a cycle motion. Now once it is ready to enter between the plates now, when it completes a half a cycle motion, again the polarity is changed. How it is changed now? This becomes this previous, this was minus no previously, right? This was minus no, this becomes plus. Now this becomes minus. I am writing here. This is first case. This is second case. Now third case will come. This is third case. This is how we are changing the polarities. Now this is a negative potential. Again it is attracted towards the negative potential. Positive charge you have taken. No. So it is again accelerated between the plates now. So when it is again accelerated between the plates, so again velocity increases from V1 to V2 already done. Now V2 to V3. Now here it will be under acceleration. Now the velocity increases to V3 now. So it has entered into a magnetic field now, a magnetic field which is outward. Now it is entering into the magnetic field perpendicular to the magnetic field with velocity V3 now. With velocity V3, it is entering. Where V3 is greater than V2. V3 is again greater than V2. Now the radius R3 must be greater than R2. This was R2. This was R1. Now it should have a greater radius. So the magnetic field here will make it to move in a circular motion like this. So this process will continue. So again it will be accelerated. Now the velocity changes from V3 to V4 here. Again the polarity will change, this to minus and this to plus. Now again it enters with a velocity V4 here, right? Now again V4 will be greater than, again V4 will be greater than V3, therefore R4 will be greater than R3. So therefore it moves with a greater radius here. So again it is accelerated here, again it moves like this, again it is accelerated here, again it moves. Constantly the polarity will be changing there also. Now finally, after acquiring the required velocity, then this particle is allowed to come out with a greater velocity. Like this, the particle is being accelerated. Magnetic field is making it to move in a circular motion, and the electric field between the Ds is accelerating the particle. So finally, highly energetic particle will be coming out. That is the working of cyclotron. This is very important question for CBSE and as well as state boards also. But calculations now. Let us come to the calculations. We may be asking problems on calculations or expressions in competitive exams. But there won't be any new calculations or new formulas. Already what you have learned in, for example, this condition, for example, EQ is equal to same formulas only. But let us go in little bit detail so that how the problems will be asked in this. So let us have some general information. Now I will tell how this frequency is changed and these little points I have to discuss. I will tell you that. So first, let me discuss about the electric field between the plates, between the Ds, electric field. So just now I told that between this space you have an electric field here, the space between the Ds. Let the electric field is E and let the charge on the particle is Q, let mass of the particle is M. Let me take a positive charge only here. Then I said that force acting on a charged particle due to the electric field only between Ds this is. And the particle will be accelerated, which is nothing but EQ, the acceleration of the particle between the Ds. Between the Ds, not in Ds, between the Ds only. That means between the space, this will be the acceleration. This you know formula already. What is there to ask? Nothing. So only this they may ask you. Especially the electric field here. You are applying a potential there, right? And due to that, the electric field is developed between the diameters. You know one more formula, E is equal to potential difference between the plates by distance between the plates. Let this is a distance between the plates, small d. And this d is considered here and potential that you have applied is considered there. Generally, you know how much potential will be there. This potential will be around 10,000 volts. High voltage you will apply here. The alternate voltage that you are applying will be a high voltage. Right. Distance between the plates, how much I will keep? How much? Small distance only it is. Let me take 1 centimeter. Right. So 1 centimeter I'll take. This is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Approximately I am taking some value. Now what will be the electric field between diameters now? What will be the electric field between diameters now? That is nothing but 10,000 divided by 10 to the power of minus 2 is equal to V by D. So this is nothing but 10 to the power of 6 volts per meter. Such a strong 1 million volt per meter electric field is existing. See, such a strong field is existing between the plates. Now if this electric field is so much strong, what is the acceleration? Let me come to the acceleration of the particle between the plates. So acceleration is electric field, amma. Let me take 10 to the power of 6. Mass, a charge. I said it is proton, no? So this is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Mass of the proton. Let me take 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kgs. See, what is the acceleration approximately? Let me take, amma. Let us forget about these numerical values. Let me take this one. If I take this 10 to the power of 27 minus 19. Okay? 27 minus 19. How much it is? 8. 10 to the power of 8 I'll get. 10 to the power of 8 plus one more 6 is there. So 10 to the power of 14. Approximately it is an order of 10 to the power of 14 meters per second square. Such a big acceleration it is. In 1 second, okay, the velocity will increase by 10 to the power of 14. Approximately I am telling you, all these are not exact. So I am not telling you how it is being accelerated here. These are not exact. This charge of the particle, mass of the particle is exact, but approximate. So for example, if you take a distance between the plates, I am taking some approximate value. So this is how the acceleration of the particle. So very high acceleration will be done between the diameters. Now, then you may ask me, sir, then what will be the velocity of the particle that comes out here? That will be very high velocity. We will discuss that later on now. Just now I discussed about the electric field between the plates. Next coming to about what about the magnetic field? Inside the Ds, there is no electric field. Only magnetic field is there, that too coming out I said. So what does the magnetic field do now? Whenever it is entering any D, the magnetic field is making the particle to move in a circular motion. So when it is moving in a circular motion, the force exerted by magnetic field is equal to centripetal force, mv square by r. Small r I will take, r. Okay. So here, as I said that this is cancelled, amma, and radius is obtained, but I wanted to find the time period and frequency. Regarding V and R, I already discussed. V and R are proportional. So what I do is now BQ is equal to M. V is written as R omega and divided by R. Therefore, the angular velocity is equal to BQ by M. And omega is written as 2 pi by T. And this is nothing but BQ by M. The time period, time taken to complete one revolution, maybe half revolution, okay. Half revolution means capital T by 2. One revolution means T. Time taken to complete one revolution. T is equal to 2 pi M by BQ. And reciprocal of the time period is nothing but a frequency. So that is nothing but BQ divided by 2 pi M. Is there all our new formulas? Amma? You know already, no? This condition already you know. We already discussed all this in previous lectures. So is there any new formula for you? No. There are no new formulas in cyclotron. Already what you have learnt only you will have. So now the frequency of revolution is constant. Time period is constant. Time taken to complete one revolution is constant. One cycle like this. One cycle like this. One cycle like this. Suppose it starts here and it completes and comes back. Suppose it starts here, amma, it completes and comes here. That is called one cycle. See, that time period is constant. Why constant? Mass of the particle is constant. Magnetic field is uniform magnetic field. I am not changing the magnetic field. And charge on the particle is also not changing. And hence the time period is constant and frequency is also constant. You may ask me, sir, radius is changing now. Let it change. I said that velocity and radius are directly proportional. If radius is increasing, velocity is increasing. Yeah. So it may be completing a greater circle, but more velocity. And hence time period can remain constant. Time period may be constant, frequency may be constant, but velocity is increasing, correspondingly radius is increasing. Understand? So, a constant frequency you have. So now, the frequency of this AC, let it be F naught. Let the frequency of the charged particle that is revolving inside this D, let it be F, and I can make these two equal. This is called condition of resonance. When the frequencies are equal, you call it as a resonance. So the number of revolutions per second, that frequency, and frequency of AC that is changing, that frequency are equal. So I will select a frequency in such a manner that frequency is equal to this frequency. Then exactly when it completes a half cycle, polarity will change. Again when it completes a half cycle, polarity will change. Again when it completes a half cycle here, again polarity will change. So that continuously particle is accelerated between the D's, diameters. So this is called condition of the resonance. So is there any new formula now? Tell me. No. Next, the particle is coming out with a velocity v. Then what is its kinetic energy? Now as the radius is increasing R1, R2, again R3, again R4, again R5, again R6 like that. Let the diameter of this D, let this diameter of the D is capital R. This D. Okay. Then the particle will come out with a maximum radius of capital R and then it comes out. Let us say approximately like that. So then what happens to the energy of the particle? So radius of the particle, radius of the circular motion, let us say the final radius. This is a final radius. It is coming out now. That is final radius. What is final radius? Capital R. So what should I do? BQ final velocity, BQ V final velocity is equal to M into V square by final radius, because it is going to come out now, is equal to. Therefore, the velocity of the particle with which it comes out is equal to BQ R by M. This is the velocity with which it comes out. Here also new formula. It is also, you know this condition. Already we are using that condition. Then what is the kinetic energy of the particle with which it comes out? So the kinetic energy is equal to half into M into V square. V square. V square means B square, Q square, M square, divide, yeah. Half M is here, Amma. Okay, this is M into V square. V square means B square, Q square, R square divided by M square. V square means. So therefore, finally, the kinetic energy of the particle with which it is coming out is equal to B square into Q square into R square divided by 2M. This will be the final kinetic energy of the particle. What all you have to substitute? How much magnetic field you have applied? Next, what is the mass of the particle that you have taken? What is the charge of the particle on that? And what is the radius of the D's? Radius of the cyclotron. That if you substitute here, then final kinetic energy of the particle. I told no, highly energetic particles are coming out. Then kinetic particles will be coming out. This is how highly energetic particles are coming out here. And these energetic particles will be used in the other experiments. So these are the expressions. I told no new expressions. You know kinetic energy formula, you know velocity formula. Already you know all these conditions. And between electric field means EQ is equal to ME, I already told you, so like that. So this is how you are getting a highly energetic particles. So what are the limitations of this cyclotron? What are the limitations of cyclotron? See, if you want to accelerate neutron, you cannot. Why? Neutron cannot be accelerated. See, between the electric field here, E, isn't it? You are writing F is equal to EQ, acceleration is EQ divided by M. So, who is increasing the velocity of a charged particle? Electric field. So, their charge is compulsory because electric field have to apply the force, means charge must be there. Then if there is no charge, there is no acceleration. If there is no acceleration, speed will not be increased. When speed is not increased, you cannot get the energetic particles. So one of the drawback is only charged particles can be accelerated, neutral particles cannot be accelerated. Second drawback, which is very important. Let us see what is the second drawback now. See, there is a theory of relativity, Einstein's relativity, equation of relativity. So according to Einstein, when any particle is moving with very high speed comparable to that of light. See, the velocity of light is c generally we represent, and it is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. How much it is? 3 into 10 to the power 5 kilometers per second. Means how much? 3 lakhs kilometers per 1 second. Such a high speed the light is traveling. So in this universe, no particles or no bodies can travel velocity equal to that of light, or at least comparable to that of light. If at all, if any particle is traveling with this velocity or comparable to this velocity, at least not this but comparable, then mass of the particle will increase, it seems. So mass is not constant. So when a particle is moving with high speed, the mass of the particle is increasing. That is called Einstein's theory of relativity. He gave an expression also. So this is a mass while moving. This is mass while at rest. This is root over 1 minus v square divided by c square. And v is the velocity with which the particle is moving. See, if this velocity is comparable to the velocity of light, whose velocity and velocity of a charged particle, that is you are accelerating that. You are increasing the speed, no, continuously. Here between the plates, in each step, the velocity is increasing. If that velocity is very high, see the charged particles which are having, no, they have high speeds. For example, 2 into 10 to the power of 7 meters per second. Like that, high speed charged particles are coming out. So when these high speed charged particles are coming out and these velocities are comparable to the velocity of light, at least we can compare 1/10 of the velocity or 1% of the velocity of light, 2% of the velocity of light, at least we can compare. And at that condition, mass of the particle will be increasing. This is the mass of the particle. This is rest mass. So the particle's mass is increasing in these now. So what happens if mass increases? Kinetic energy will increase, no? Half m square. M is more, velocity is more. So there is one problem here. What was the frequency of the particle? I remember time period 2 pi m by bq. And frequency of the charged particle, frequency means number of revolutions per second, which is given by bq divided by 2 pi m. Fine. When this mass is increasing, frequency is changing. When frequency is changing, applied frequency, that is the applied AC frequency may not be equal to the frequency of this particle. See, when exactly completing a half cycle, I am changing polarity. Again half cycle, again changing polarity. Again half cycle, I am changing a polarity. So I said that the frequency of the particle and frequency of the AC are equal. I kept under resonance, I said. But if the charged particle is very high, so mass is increasing, then this frequency is changing. Whereas this is constant. So how can I make resonance there? It is not possible. So there is another drawback here. So you can get energetic particles, but not as much as, because if that is the case, the polarity that I have to change, the frequency of the polarity that I have to change, and frequency with which it is revolving will not match there. Then it is difficult to operate the cyclotron. So this is another disadvantage of cyclotron. So this is about the cyclotron. Thank you, one and all.